All right, we're coming online. We're coming online. We're coming online. It's gonna be a good night for streaming. I can already feel it. Good evening, everybody watching all over the place. Hello on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter. This is the LCA COVID-19 Response. I told everyone that I would show up every night at 8:30 until we get through this thing together. I will be a consistent person to be here every evening at 8:30 until this thing is over. I'm Andre in the Flow, just an ordinary citizen just like you, wanting to make the world a better place through showing up and being present for my friends, strangers, and everyone in between. I'm live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, and also lovecityarts.org, an organization that exists just to be present for artists and creatives that need a little bit of encouragement along the path. I am the artistic director there, and I'm just the guy. I'm just the guy that lives in New York City. New York City, that is the epicenter of everything. I can't see who you are unless you tell me. Say hi, people. How's it going? Happy Friday. We've been here. This is day 7 of our response, and some of you have been here every night. Chime in, let me know who you are, and let me know where you're watching from. This is just an encouragement-only space. There's not a lot of politics. I could say there's not a lot of politics or a lot of spirituality in this space. That weaves in, but it's all anchored in love, everybody. How's your day been? How's your Friday been? It warmed up. The humidity was wild in Queens, in New York. I had to open a window today, but I think yesterday, if my memory serves me correctly, yesterday was the first day of spring. You know what I haven't done? I haven't shared out that this is going on my social. I'm gonna do that now. And if you're digging the vibe, now's the time too for you to be like, oh, you know what? Someone else in my circle may need a little boost of encouragement. I think I have someone that I'm about to call. We are always a riot when we hang out. And so I'm going to put them on the line. It's going to be a surprise guest. Karen Crawford said, tornado action last. Oh, all the comments are coming in now. Shakira Imani, hey, Andre, I'm alive. I'm fed. I'm provided for. I'm grateful. Just leaning on my support system one day at a time. How are you? How am I? I am a bit I'm emotionally exhausted. Like in my head, I've been like chastising people that won't stay in the house or won't wash their hands. You know, there are people in the world, viewers all over the place. There are people that are still not washing their hands. They're still walking out of bathrooms without, like it's that kind of thing. And I can't be responsible for what those people do. Like I can't get all wrapped up in it. And so I'm trying to figure out where that space is of caring and not giving a fuck. If I'm honest tonight, I'm in this space of like how much should I care? You know, I care enough to protect myself and like give like light and love and positivity to other people, but like one of my best friends, Nina, told me today that she was out taking her little stroll and like people are in the parks and they're on the basketball court. And I know that that's their business, but like, this is like, we have the most reported and confirmed cases of coronavirus anywhere. If you look at the maps, we're just like red here. Like there's things that they're asking us to do to help spread help contain the virus. And if all of us did our little part, then we would be fine. But because we kind of don't think about other people all the time, because we had these little devices in our phones that taught us to just be like just do what you want to do. Who gives a? Because of that, we're now in a situation where we're not really protecting each other. Shakira Imani says, you care enough. They need to care more. Aunt Tangy, thanks for being here, man. Aunt Tangy came into the room and all of a sudden we got a little backbeat. Hey, I'm gonna read the rest of these comments. I'm scrolling up for these comments. I'm scrolling all the way up. Thanks everybody that's watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and also lovecityarts.org. I'm just pretending to be like the kid that I was, I always wanted to be on the radio as a kid, and then my high school job was working at WREJ, the best in gospel radio. WREJ 1540. Like, that's what I was doing as a kid. And so this is kind of plays into that. And I love people, so here we go. Karen, we read that one. Amen, says Karen. Sending my love. Melissa back. I'm sending love back to you. And I know that everybody who's watching right now, if the people who are commenting are still in here, they're sending you love too. Melissa won't mind me saying that she recently went through a bit of a hardship. I won't get into the details because that's her business, not my business to tell, but she went through a little bit of a hardship and she moved. She did a dramatic move, guys, and I'm really proud of her. Melissa, I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you made moves that honored your heart. I'm proud of you that you made healthy moves and you just took a leap. And now we're faced with all of these challenges and you're still living through your leap. And so you're sending us love. I think all of the 13 watchers on Facebook and the people over on YouTube and over on the website, I think we're sending you love right now. Because you were in the midst of a challenge and now there's more challenge. But guess what? We've got your back. We've got your back. All 12 of us. It was 13. We lost one, but they had your back too. We've got your back and we're going to send you love because we know it. Yeah, see right there. Antangi, go Melissa. Like, we've got your back. I'm going to be here every night at 8:30 until this thing subsides because we need to have each other's back. I cannot hug all of you the way that I want. Oh, babe, like, we got you. You don't, like, cry. Let the love flow through you. Shakira Imani says, right, that's the balance. Hi, Andre. Oh my gosh, Carrie. Okay, give me 1 second, Carrie. I'll come to your comment. Like, Melissa, we love you. 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 All 11 of us now. Carrie headed in. Hey, hi, Andre. Headed in for the 5-night stand of work. This is her 5th night as an ER nurse. Lurked last night, but still watched. The governor of Arizona decided yesterday to deploy the National Guard with the aid to the grocery store situation. It's out of control. Listen, Carrie, they have doubled the price of the meat over at the grocery store. And I like those people. And they are doubling the price of things. It's getting to be a situation. They gave me a lot of different feelings, but taking it day by day. Yes, we're going to blast right now Carrie with love too. Guys, she's going into the ER every night. She's going into the ER every night and giving love and smiles and health care to strangers. I'm blasting you with light and love. Know that everyone on here is Jonathan Sawyer in here. Pass me by, oh thou Corona. Pass me by, oh Corona. Ooh. Am I even in the key? Probably not. Shakira Imani says that I care enough. They need to care more. Ann said, hey, going to end up locked down like Italy right now. I know if we don't stop playing. I planned this whole fiasco. I did not plan this. Y'all know that I was trying to like create spaces for people to come together and share in community like this way before coronavirus. No, I would not want this. I wanted the community piece that we're feeling, but I didn't want this. Yeah, nothing like this. Hey, Nicole. Nicole is my singing sister over in Jersey. Although I don't know if she's from Jersey, but she's Boricua. And beautiful and a ball of light, blasting you with light right now, my sister Karen. Karen calls me a flower in concrete because of where I live and how much I cry. Brian, I love you too. Brian, oh my gosh, Brian. Okay, Brian, stay right where you are because you know what's about to happen. They were hang in there, boo, to Melissa. Hugs and love to all of you. Marva Mallory McRae actually was my ride to school. Let me get the number pulled up from my brother that's about to come on and talk to us about coronavirus and his experience with it. But Marva Mallory used to drive my little black behind to school. I'm pulling up the special guest number right now so we can get him on in the room. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this music though? Wait now. Wait. I'm in quarantine and let me tell you. Let's not talk about it. Let me find this number. Hey. It's gonna let me see. Yeah, here we go. All right, I'm dialing in our guest of the night. And by the way, guys, I want to talk to all of you. If you're open in your heart, like I want to talk to all of you throughout this time of us going through this challenge. I don't want anybody left out in the cold, and I certainly don't want anybody not expressed. If you got something to say, the number's on the screen, 404-585-1278. Just text that number only, and then we'll give you a call. Like I'm about to call this special guest. And this guest is just special because they are special, and also because they're special to me. To me. This person's so special to me. All right, here we go. I can't call the number out loud like I normally would because I don't want to put them on blast. So I'm actually hoping that they answer. Let's see if this rings the way that I need it to. Last night it didn't work. Ooh, tonight it's working. Oh, wait. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Is this Popeye's Chicken and Waffles?
It's showing us business. Come on down to Popeyes.
Bob. Okay.
Oh, wait, is that the right restaurant? Is that the right song? The right theme song?
Talk a little louder into your phone. I'm not trying to get you to yell into your phone, but like
okay.
We need.
You know what? I have my AirPods on, so let me just try.
Fancy bitch with the AirPod. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah,
to suffer for the kingdom.
It's Brian
Sanders, everybody. It's Brian Sanders. It's the Brian Sanders of not Chick-fil-A. We don't believe in them, those assholes. It's Sanders, Colonel Sanders of KFC.
Yes.
Give us that good bass voice in your phone. We want to hear. That's what we want to hear tonight. That's what we paid for. Go on, give us some. Give us some.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to say, but No. Listen, you're the one giving the smooth radio host tones going on.
Listen,
so.
Brian, this is like a little like childhood dream like come true. Like literally, I mean not the coronavirus part, but like Ann Tangy saying hi, Brian Sanders.
Hi, Ann.
Yeah, I would not have done that. We love Ann. We
do.
We would not have done this. I would not have done this on my own. Actually, it's like, and people don't like me to say this because it's very controversial, Brian. But I need everyone to like ground their own shit before they come for my shit. When I say, like, I believe in thanking everything and every challenge, like every ex-partner that I've had, every ex-husband I've had. I've only had one, and let's get the facts on the record. But every X or every challenge I've had, thank you to that challenge. And I gotta admit, guys, we're in day 7, at least of my tracking. I've been here this is 7th night that we've shown up together at 8:30 to be together and to commune together and to feel good for a minute. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that this could happen. And that this would then push me into being like, oh, maybe you can set up the microphone this way. Maybe you could put this sound on this way. And then remember at 8 years old when you wanted to be like a damn radio DJ and you were like, had your finger in your ear. You had guys, remember the days of having earmuffs?
Oh yeah.
I mean, do we still have earmuffs?
They're out there, I'm sure. I don't know how many people actually wear them, but
Have you? I mean, yeah. Anyway, I used to have earmuffs on and things like that, and be pretending that I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And because coronavirus is here, and God forbid, but I mean, I think we're all like having to engage our mortality and the fact that like this is like a real thing. How do
mhm.
I want to spend if, and this is going to get real deep, and I may lose every last viewer I have, but I won't lose you, Brian. And that's love. but but even if coronavirus gets me, and I don't want it to, I'm gonna wash my hands and stay my black ass in this house. But if
One.
coronavirus does get me, do I want to spend it in gloom and doom and sadness and oh
Mhm.
Lord, it's coming for me? I just gotta. Do I stay in that? Or do I just go live every night at 8:30 and like live out a childhood fantasy and be present for other people as I want people to be present for me until this thing fucking blows over? I mean, it's all about how you want to spend your time, right, Brian?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, listen,
Absolutely.
tell people what you were doing before coronavirus came into town.
Ooh, Lord. Okay. Well, first of all, let me just say, kind of going off what you just said,
Mm,
I'm so thankful for you and just for what you're doing because I know for me, which we'll get into, this kind of has been uh, something. At first I'm like, okay, what is this? Okay, seems kind of bad. To where we are now, and whether or not I'm affected as like some areas, where I am physically and whatnot, it's still something that is just kind of mentally like daunting and can be exhausting.
mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure I'm not the only one, which is why we have the people out, whoever is out there and listening right now, where this is just a good way to kind of just decompress and talk about, how this makes you feel. Maybe it makes you laugh, maybe it, whatever. So I'm thankful for what you're doing because you're using your gifts, which, like you said, you didn't maybe think it would come in this way. And because of what's happened, you
Yeah.
are doing this, but nevertheless, here we are. So I'm thankful, I'm grateful for you, and this is
Oh,
awesome and wonderful.
I
So
I love you, brother. Let me tell you something. Brian is my homie. The backstory briefly of how Brian and I reunited, and it
and it
feels.
feels so good. That was a weird
Woo,
harmony.
yes, yes.
But
Especially when I backed off to give you space, didn't realize that you were coming to support.
ah.
Ooh, we have a history of this. We do. Bro, I was outside vaping. Was I smoking or was I vaping? I think no, maybe I was going to
You
get
were
my
going to the you're getting groceries
I was getting
next
my
door.
morning snack. I thank you, Shakira, for calling me a light. I recognize that you and Brian could not see a light if you were not lights yourselves. Come on in the room.
Come
Because
on.
you can't behold what's not in your consciousness. Now, where's my organ to come on in the room now? I need my organ player. Hey, if there's no resonance, okay, the only way that a bell can ring across the room is if that bell is tuned to the other bell, okay?
Come
Okay?
on.
You put two bells in a room that are tuned to the same frequency. When you bang one of them motherfuckers, the other one's gonna ring too. And so the only
Come
reason
on.
why you all can see my light up in here is because you can see your own. But I'm gonna preach that one a different day.
Okay.
Anyway, whew, anyway, sometimes your help comes through. Anyway, I'm going to get my morning snack. And as I come out, I'm like, oh, there's a brother walking down the street. It's a well dressed brother walking down the street. And just before it gets creepy in this story, just when I was about to give a second look to this fine ass motherfucker walking down the street, I realized that it's somebody I know. And then I'm going through the Rolodex, and Brian and I have talked about this. I'm going through the Rolodex of like, oh, where do I know this person from? Did I fuck him before? Have I been on the train? Like, no, you go through all of. Y'all know New Yorkers know the list when you're like, I
We
know you from
know.
somewhere. Did I swipe right on you? Did I swipe left on you? Do you know that I swiped left on you? Did we sleep together last week? Did we sleep together 3 years ago? Did I like it? Did I not like it? Like you go through all of this, but you go through it's like
Come
quick.
on.
It's like it's a New York minute. Like
Hey,
hey. Oh my God. Let me. You know what? Actually, Brian, I don't think you're going to be able to hear
yes,
this, but I'm gonna put on New York Minute real quick because I don't. Just stand by, Brian. Just stand by
standing by.
because is it Don Henley that sang that? I guess it is. Let me see if it pops through. Oh, I thought it was a black man that sang this song.
I think so.
Let me fast forward. Hold on.
Knives out and
Wait,
along
this is a
to my
documentary.
left side
I done
began.
played a documentary.
Okay.
Wait. I need. It's a song, right?
Thank you.
It is.
Oh wait, it's coming. It's coming now. Here we go.
Okay.
I gotta work this out, Brian, so that you can hear it as well. But let me tell you something. I'm only gonna give him a couple. Okay, Karen said it is Don Henley. Is this Don Henley playing? I hope it is. Let's get to the point, guys. Hold on. Is the intro always been this fucking long? Okay.
Wall Street in the morning.
This will get me shut off. I'm gonna get shut down. Off of Facebook.
Copyright.
Yeah, right. They're gonna get me. Oh, this song is taking forever, guys. We just went through the chorus. Here we go.
I see his unfurled. One day he crossed some
This is taking forever.
line. He was too much in his way.
I just wanted the punchline.
But I guess it doesn't matter.
I think the New York Minute.
I mean, it's literally he's taking forever to get to this chorus. All I want to hear is in a New York Minute. That's what I want. Jesus.
Everything can change in a New York minute.
Woo! Yes, Jesus, in a New York Minute. Okay, I'm listening to that later in worship. So anyway, in a New York Minute, I saw this dude, and it ended up being Brian, and we've been like best buds ever since reunited. We knew each other. Do we know each other at college?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew who you were to knew, like, okay, I knew this is that guy and he sang.
And I knew that you were that
but
guy
I
and
think
that you
you
sang.
were, yeah, exactly. And I think you, like, graduated my first year, maybe. So
Yeah.
we didn't have a lot of time.
Are you trying
like,
to
together.
date?
Cool.
Are you trying to date me and age me in this motherfucker?
No, but
Okay,
I mean
but
if
you
we
like
need to, like, break down the facts.
no.
you
Let's
know?
not do math in here. No. Like the lady in Get Out. No.
No, not trying to date you, just saying.
That's how the facts line up. Yeah. Did I lose you? Did you go out?
At the time.
Okay, there we go. You're back now. You're back.
Okay.
Now. You're good.
Okay.
Okay, so tell everybody what you were doing before, and thank you everybody that's watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, Twitch, and also on lovecityarts.org. Tell everybody what you were doing before. Oh, and while Brian's telling us what he was doing before all of this went down, y'all also tell me what you were doing before all this went down. Okay, go, Brian. Brian? Well, y'all heard that sound. It was the Liberty sound. Comment and let me know what you were doing before all of this started crumbling right before us. I'm gonna try to get Brian back on the line.
Hello. Let's try this again.
Okay. The devil is a liar.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. So what were you doing before all of this went down?
Yes. So I work for Mickey Mouse. I am in Orlando, Florida at Disney World. I sing with the Voices of Liberty, which is like an Americana a cappella group that performs at Epcot. So I moved from New York in May and have been here since then. And so, yes, that's what I was doing before all of this. It was a really weird, just a sequence of events, the way everything kind of played out, just kind of in my own personal like world, and then like my work world, and then just the overall company, being affected by all of this. But we actually, I don't know what day it is now because of just all of this, but I guess it was last week around this time where our group had our discussions like for our contracts because we are on the year-to-year contracts. And so I actually found out that I was renewed for another contract for another year the same day that I found out that we were also about to close for 2 weeks, which is what they have told us.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of weird because, this was definitely a thing that was going on, but, I'm like, oh, Disney, it's Disney World. We're not going to
Yeah, it's
close
like
probably, or like,
it's the happiest place on earth. Like, what's Corona gonna
yeah,
do
yeah, or
here?
like there's not too much going on around us
That
here,
sounds more, Brian. That sounds more Maleficent like to me. That doesn't sound like Mickey.
Yes, it
I mean,
really
if
does.
anybody was going to send coronavirus for your ass, it's definitely going to be Maleficent's ass. Like, it's going to be that Angelina Jolie looking ass Maleficent. She gonna say
Yes,
Corona, but you're like, this couldn't possibly happen in the greatest.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Go on. Go on.
exactly. That's how I felt. So,
Yeah. Because,
just
okay, sorry,
like with,
sorry, Brian. Those of you who don't know
uh-huh.
Brian the way that I know Brian, Brian is still like he's a grown ass man and he handles his business, but like he also is like a child in his heart. So like Christmas is like the most wonderful time of the year to him, and he's like gushing about like snowflakes and Santa and shit, and we're all like, shut the fuck up. But humbug. So anyway, keep going.
This is true, yes. So anyway, just finding all of that out on the same day. And then I think at that point we had decided that we were closing on that upcoming Sunday. So I still had like 3 or 4 days left of, actually working. And so people were still there at the parks, but it was just very weird to see how much the news of everything kind of affected like attendance just in the park.
Yeah.
We do 7 shows a day, and just kind of depending on what time of the day the show, the audience is, might be a large number, or if it's like one of our first shows, like in the morning, okay, it's normally small, but some of the days, like most of them, were really small. And then like one, random show would be like a large crowd.
But it wasn't it wasn't the usual numbers that you usually have.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Just even like walking through the park, on my way, like, when I would get off. Yeah, it was very, very weird. And then, going into like Friday and Saturday, news started coming about the different groups. Disney has a lot of programs and internships and college programs and international programs. So word was going around that a lot of these like participants in those programs were being like essentially, terminated. I mean, not fired because of something they did, but just because of all of this and how it was going to affect, Disney, and you got to pay all these people and house all these people. And I'm sure, it's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
So we're, doing shows, and people from the college programs are, coming on their last day and like crying. I mean, cause like they got word like, okay, your program's over. And then like in a couple of days is like your last day. So it wasn't like like here's a lot of time to prepare for this. And, so there was a weird, like, it just was very weird. And then Sunday was the last day, that all the parks were open. And it was just kind of a mix of like, it was a very weird, like eerie kind of feeling. But then at the same time, people were like just enjoying like, their last bit of like, the magic, if you will, as they could.
Yeah.
So on one sense, it was nice to like be able to, and the people, this is a Disney phrase, but to make magic, for the people who were there. We know that, it's a weird, time. And so we kind of took some precautions like for ourselves where, we're kind of one of the only shows on property where once we're done, we can kind of like mingle and like, say hello to people or shake people's hands. And they had told us, it's okay that, if you don't want to shake people's hands or, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of our like crowd interactive songs, they sing like oh, Susanna. And so the guy who's usually doing the solo goes out and finds like a Susanna in the crowd and they like take their hand and like
Mm-hmm.
do that whole thing. And they told them, don't do that. Just sing the solo just in front of the group. So just, little things were kind of starting to make their way into just changing like what we did operationally, like day to day. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's what I was doing. And like I said, from what the word we got was we're at this point until we hear something else. I think the park is supposed to open up, April 1st or 2nd. Obviously, this is a changing, thing that's changes from day to day.
Yeah.
Sometimes seems like hour to hour sometimes. But so yeah, so I have been off work
How are you spending
and
your time, Brian?
well, it's weird because I think like normally I'm definitely what do they call it? Like an extroverted introvert or whatever. I'm very social and I love, my people and, I'll call, Andre, I call you and,
Yeah.
we chat and, whatever.
Yeah.
But I also love like,
Oh, you're
my
ambivert.
time and like,
Ambivert.
okay, I didn't know that was a
Like when
thing.
you're
So
like a
yes, that,
yeah, when you're like a mix, when you're a healthy mix of extrovert and introvert,
yes.
you're
Okay.
ambivert.
Ambi, like
Ambi. Yes.
ambi.
As an
Okay.
ambulance.
Yes. Okay.
Got it?
So that's what I am.
Ambulance.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
And so one would think that this would be like a great time to, I'm just going to be in my room and watching Netflix shows and I'm
Yeah.
just going to, chill. And it's weird because I haven't really been doing that.
Oh.
And as I was kind of like saying at the beginning, I guess, and I don't have, cable, so I don't really watch the news. I don't really spend a lot of time like, reading people's Facebook statuses about all this, but still, like, this is such a weird thing. Like, you can still feel all of that, like, even if you're not like really kind of watching everything. And
Because
so,
we are total like energetic beings, and people try to be like,
yes,
oh, people are like, oh, like I'm just me. Like, didn't you see my Instagram feed? Didn't you see my
hmm
Instagram followers? Didn't you get my like? Didn't you mark me as red? Like, didn't you see
right,
my? And then all of a sudden, something like this happens, and you try to unplug, and you're like, wait, I'm still an antenna.
yes,
Keep
yes.
going.
Yes. So I think, as I've just been processing over the past, few days, we are here in Orlando. I mean, it's not I wouldn't say it's a heavily populated, area, especially without the people, who are visiting
Right.
Disney. So it's not, like crazy around here by any means. I mean, definitely stores are out of, Lysol wipes and, shit like that. But like, it's not like you don't go in the store. It's not like pandemonium everywhere.
Right. Right.
Um, so, we're not on quite, the lockdown that maybe some of the bigger cities are starting to find themselves. However, we just got put on, or at least the county I live in, like a curfew, which is basically when I go to sleep anyway. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'll just be asleep from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Right.
So, but that just happened like today. So that is something new where, and, they've definitely shut down, restaurants are not doing the whole, sit down thing. So we've definitely been doing a lot of the same things around here that have been happening. But like I said, it's not really, quite the extreme as maybe some other places.
Yeah.
Um, but even with that, I think for me, as I've been processing, it's the open-endedness of like, okay, what
Hmm.
is going to happen? I mean, I know everyone's saying, oh, these 2 weeks, but is it really going to be like what's going to happen? How are
Yeah.
we just automatically going to be better, in 2 weeks? Is Disney really going to open, and what? So because it's so like uncertain, I think that's where my anxiety is coming from,
Yeah.
so that I'm not actually enjoying this the way that I would be, like, oh, let me go watch, this show. I mean, I've watched a couple things, here and
Yeah.
there, but it's like I can't even really enjoy the things that I normally would because they're just kind of this like
Yeah.
this anxiety, like, at
Well, yeah,
the
coronavirus. Most of us are trying as humans because humans like to either increase pleasure or avoid pain. Most of us, as much as
right.
possible, are trying to tie up our loose ends, like tie up all the loose
Hmm.
ends of like our personal tapestry, if you guys will, or just say your life as a rug, and you just like we're always trying to tie up the loose ends so it's not too frayed. Coronavirus essentially came in and just said, bah! Like took scissors to it. It was like, all right, yeah, there it is, and now we're gonna all deal with it.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so it just leaves a lot of hanging. Um, One thing that I have found to be helpful in those moments of of coming to terms with the fact that so much of the situation is unknown is to simply try our best to make friends with it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And just kind of, I mean, it doesn't change the circumstances of how the logistics of our lives are going to be set up. I mean, I don't know if, I mean, I am part of one of my roles in my day job is to work on trade shows and conferences. And now all trade shows and conferences, which are essentially thousands of people being in one space like Javits and all of that together,
Right. Yeah.
all of that has dried up. So the coffee person's dried up. That's there. The janitors at Javits have dried up.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully there's still somebody still there, like spraying something for the love of Jesus. But
Hopefully.
hopefully,
Right.
but like all staff that staff those events, even the temporary people that come in for the day, there are no conferences going on around the world. Like I do conferences in
Right.
Madrid, I do conferences in Barcelona. I do,
Hmm.
all of these different spaces, and now no one's going there, or they're all being canceled or postponed. So then that puts me in a space of like, well, part of my job or a huge part of my role is actually doing marketing and business development, and then in addition to that, conferences and trade shows. Like if that goes away, what does that mean for me? And I think that a lot of us are
Right.
dealing with this energy of like, how is this going to ultimately affect me? If I play this out in this scenario, what would I
Yes.
do with that? If I play this out in this situation, what would I do with that? And like we're all there. And one of the things, okay, there are a couple things I'm doing right now, and I would love to hear what you're doing as well, Brian. And I would love to have everyone who's watching right now chime in about what you're doing. One of my life hacks right now is to try to bring myself into the present moment as much as possible. And I know that the present moment has
Hmm.
coronavirus in it, but the present moment also has so many other things in it. And so I try. We've been talking all week about counting our blessings and kind of, you know, I'm gonna sound ratchet as fuck, but like there's a bag. There's actually 2 bags of Terra real vegetable chips sitting on my floor. I know that sounds really really hood, but like judge yourself, people who
Okay.
are watching. So like, but like those chips are gonna taste so good later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
and I got that. We talked about this last night. I woke up this morning, so I hit the jackpot, which means I get to taste those chips or whatever's in your life. Um,
Yeah.
if you are watching the New York City area, and I mean this, if you're watching the New York City area and you're saying to yourself right now, like, oh, well, that's nice for you, Dre, because you actually have food. My pantry's empty. I want to let you know that I've got and you don't have money to get access. If you're watching right now, or if you watch in the future on a replay, and you don't have Terra chips on your floor, and you're mad at me because I got Terra chips and you don't, let me tell you something. I text me, and they're yours. you know, you need rice, and it's yours because that's another thing that's coming up for me. Like I'm recognizing right now, yes, we all are in this thing together, and we're one when it comes to being affected by the torment that the coronavirus could wreak upon us. But equally, we're also unified in our strength.
Mhm.
And that's what I want to keep talking about. The fact that if you are feeling lost and lonely, Brian, you're not alone. You're in community, you're in tribe. Same thing goes for me and the other people that are watching right now. And so the thing about it is that yes, we're gonna invite the unknown in for a cup of tea. I've heard that the unknown likes a nice oolong that unfurls in the cup. So you want to have your nice oolong prepared, and you want to invite in the unknown. Where am I going to work? Where's my money going to come from? Will that person still be into me if they don't see me physically for the next 3 weeks?
Come on.
Listen, let's get real in here. And so all of
Let,
that unknown, we just open our front door. Hi unknown, I haven't seen you in a long time. Or if you're like me, because the unknown is just life. Let's be clear.
right.
Day before yesterday. Oh, unknown, you're back. You're back, unknown. And we invite unknown. And I heard you liked oolong. I put on a pot of oolong for you. And we're just gonna sit you down, and I just need to get to know you. And you personify the unknown. I just want to get to know you, unknown. There's so much that I just don't know. And I think the conversation, and we could just play along with this for a little bit. The people that are watching, I feel like the conversation with the unknown would go a little like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, but did you come to hurt me?
Mm.
And I think the unknown would be like, oh no, absolutely did not come to hurt you.
Yeah.
I know that it's going to be okay. I know that it's going to be okay. And so the unknown kind of, if we can play with this for a second, the personified unknown, for those of you who are just tuning in and like, what the fuck is this motherfucker talking about? We personified the unknown because Brian shared with us, millions of Americans, myself included, we are grappling with the unknown right now. And so to try to calm my shit down, and this is actually part of Buddhist principles and other spiritual traditions, I invite the unknown into my living room. And I have tea with the unknown, and I say, are you here to harm me? Personified unknown. And I hear the unknown right now telling me, Brian, no, I'm not here to harm you.
Mm.
I'm not here to cause you any pain. And actually, the unknown also is going to give us. What I love about the unknown that I'm meeting right now, as I'm on a cloud talking to all of you on the internet, is that the unknown is saying things back to me right now, like, well, you're going to grow older. You're going to have abundance of love in your life. The unknown is telling me that even though there's so much that you don't know about me, you know that the birds have never gone hungry.
Yeah.
The unknown knows. Have you ever seen the grass crying out for water? Yes, it dies. Yes, it fades away. Yes, it perishes and blows away. But have you ever stepped out? I want everybody that can pay attention right now to dial into the fact that if you really take off one of your earpieces, and you listen, you will not hear the grass screaming. And I believe, and you don't see the birds going, wait. I believe that the same, we've been singing these songs in our churches since 1932, Brian. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know that he watches me. Guys, we got to level about this tonight. And I'm not coming from a Jesus freak. I'm not throwing the book at you. Your soul's not mine to save. We ain't even talking about that shit. I'm talking about the fact that we see provision and care around us at the same time that we're dealing with speaking to and personifying and embracing the unknown. All of these things are true. Now, my spiritual teachers tell me, and then I'll shut up, that when choosing between a awful feeling thought and a good feeling thought, you should probably go with the good feeling thought. So what I'm getting at is, oh my God, we're all going to die is not helpful here.
Right.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to be living in a tent under the bridge is not helpful here. Oh my God, all of these old people could potentially perish away. Factual, but not good here. I need everybody right now that believes as I believe, and I know I sound like a televangelist, but I can't help who I am. I need everybody under the sound of my voice right now to write in what they actually, the alternate. Like, what do they believe is possible? What can come from this? And Brian, I'm about to put you on the hot seat
Oh, okay.
because we can talk about the unknown, and I'm all about talking about the unknown, but like, what is the good that is coming and can come out of the situation?
That is a great question. I feel like for me, excuse me, I think that, we all probably have been trying to figure out, what can I do to maybe ease some of this, uncertainty that I'm feeling and, the anxiety, whatever you want to call it. And so we probably have our own ways of like, doing that. And I'm realizing that, that looks different for everybody, but for me, like it's allowed me to just kind of focus on like what really like brings me joy and not be like embarrassed about it or not think, something's too little or too, stupid or childlike even, to make that really makes me happy. And then it makes me think about like, when this is all over, Lord willing, and things maybe are back to what we kind of know as normal.
It will be.
Maybe we should keep, these things as a part of our lives. Maybe we should keep the, these moments of, maybe we're not going to be at home 24/7 anymore, but, can I have 5 to 10 minutes of that thing I was doing during this time that I really just felt like at peace and like I felt joy and I felt happiness and I felt, free, maybe there's ways to incorporate that kind of feeling into our everyday
what we can
lives.
hold on to. Yeah. Carrie says, I think we're going to come out of this taking far, capital FAR, less for granted, from just being able to gather with friends at a bar or restaurant to not being afraid to go to the store for necessities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, Brian, as well, like how are we going to live after this? I'm not going to be on here every night because life will expand, but I could see myself doing like maybe 1 or 2 nights a week of this just for whoever's going through something that week. Coronavirus is not at times the biggest challenge in our lives. We'll still need to be holding these spaces a year from now in some way.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that, like, was it Carrie that you just said?
Yeah.
That is probably, like a thing that you do, you take for granted, we always, and everybody, is guilty of this, but, everybody's got their life and the things that they're going through. And you might say, oh, if you ever need me, this or that, or I'm here. But, this kind of, during a time like this, we obviously, mean it and we have the time to pick up the phone and be like, all right, well, let's talk about what's going on with you. And I can listen, because I literally have nothing else to do. But like you said, when this is all over, life goes on and the other challenges are still there. Yeah. And exactly, making time for, like I said, for what brings you joy, what makes you happy, what makes you feel free, all those things, but then still, holding space, and not just holding space, but actually, showing up for the people in our lives too, when this is all over and, we're in a blooming season and, someone does need a word of encouragement.
Come on, blooming season.
Come on.
Shakira Imani says, I believe it is possible for us to lighten each other's loads and actually be a community. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, this is probably so cliche, and I'm sure people have been saying this, but I mean, this is like wild because it's something that everyone in the world is talking about. Like everyone in the world is, as funny as it could be or whatever, posting their, quarantine dance videos or whatever. But it's literally around like everyone in the whole world, so it shows
and she don't care, Brian. She don't care about whether your mama was white or black. She don't care.
Right.
She don't care.
Right.
And it was like, that's another thing that I have to say out loud, because y'all know I carry a pick with the fist right here all the time. And and I got to tell you, like, when this stuff started coming through, I remember I'm not going to call names on Al Gore's internet, but I remember when some people over on, well, y'all gonna know now, on Black Twitter, when this started happening, was like, oh, Black people can't get it. Black people can't get it. Like, we good because, it was just Tom Hanks and his wife at the time. But we felt that in our chest because Black people love some Tom Hanks. I don't know why, but they
Right.
do. Do you know why Black people like Tom
Well,
Hanks?
Forrest Gump was a good movie. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with
Was it because he had the black friend in the trenches? Bubba Gump? Was
Yeah,
Bubba Gump
Bubba.
black?
Maybe that's
Is-
oh yeah, he was.
Is that when we
Yeah.
fell in love with Tom Hanks? Somebody out there who's watching, tell me why
maybe.
we fell in love with Tom Hanks as Black people.
That's definitely a movie I grew up on for sure. So I do love that.
The way your voice
So, I don't know.
changed when you said that he was in Forrest Gump, it makes me know that it matters to Black people.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, so it happened to him, and then people were like, oh, then the Black people got shook, and then they were like, oh yeah, that really hurts, but like it's not happening to anybody Black. And then all of a sudden, like NBA players, the NBA got shut down, and Black people were like, oh shit. And then who else Black did it happen to? And they were like, oh,
Idris Elba.
When Idris happened, people were like, oh shit. It's like people don't, I mean, this is human. This is why we're in the white supremacist, patriarchal, capitalistic, what did Bell Hooks say? The white supremacist, capitalistic patriarchy. The reason why we're in this is because part of what it dictates is that we only care about ourselves and our own tribe.
Sure.
That
right.
tribalism and nationalism and tribalism, like I said, is built into white supremacy. So they're teaching us, and they've taught us through white supremacy, to always like mind yourself and your tribe. So Black people didn't care until they saw, dark, beautiful ass Idris Elba with the coronavirus, and then they were like, "Oh Lord, coronavirus!" They then it was like, oh shit. And Brian, between you, me, and the wall, and all the people who are watching all over the place, and the hundreds that'll watch it in replays, shameless plugs at lovecityarts.org. People still haven't gotten it though. Idris Elba has it. Daniel Day Kim yesterday announced. They talk about their symptoms and the way this can affect people, or the ways in which you can take it to your grandmother, and it just wipes out her whole nursing home population. Although I don't think nursing homes are allowing people in anymore. But my point is, there's too many people out in the parks and on the basketball courts, given the numbers, and they're saying that this thing, not to instill fear within people, but I'm just telling you the science of it, it's not going to peak until like May. Unless we find a solution.
Sure, which is always, a hope too.
Yeah.
See, I will also say too, I think part of my anxiety with this too is that I feel like sometimes I'm getting just different information like that. Sometimes matches up with what I hear, and then sometimes, I hear something different, because what we're hearing here, like I said, there were some local things, and I know obviously that's part of it, where you are actually, is going to be a little bit different. But just today, my roommate was watching like just the local kind of news, and when they were announcing the curfew and all of that stuff, they were saying how here, I mean, they're like, we're not telling you, to not go outside, go to the park, go to, whatever. It is about the whole thing about, don't be right on top of, one another. But it's not, I guess, like I said, and we're here in the Orlando, area.
Yeah, but you guys are scattered out more. Like, you're scattered. You can scatter yourselves. Whereas, like, I'm not sure if you saw the video I shared on my Instagram story, but like, I think the Instagram, everybody who's watching, the Instagram handle is like, what is New York or something like that. It's where the naked guy was on there yesterday. And then today there was a video of a line wrapped around the block to go into Trader Joe's. And all of those people were standing in the line traditionally as if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic. That could be happening
Oh
due to the
God.
fact that like we're in New York and there's so many of us.
Right. Yeah. I thought you were about to say the cronut shop at first. I was about to be like, oh my God.
In the cronut. Wait,
You know
not
the lady that makes the cronuts like in the
wait. You thought the lung was gonna be wrapped around waiting for cronuts?
That's what I thought you were gonna finish the story with. Like when you I was like, oh please don't tell me they're still trying to get cronuts. Which they are good.
But I mean, that was no shade, but that literally happened under real circumstances. We worked around the corner. I think didn't we work together when the cronut thing popped off, or was it after?
Oh yeah, because it's like right up the block from.
Yeah. These
So,
people,
yeah.
these people. Some of them looked like me, some of them didn't. But like
Right.
they were lined up all the way up the block for cronut. I never tasted it. I never seen
Right.
it. But
Look, this is why we can't.
exactly.
This is why I can't be a special guest.
This
on
is
your
exactly
show
right. Exactly.
Too many times because.
Oh my goodness.
But so yeah, that's something that I struggle with too, because as I am part of it too, I don't think is like just anxiety about what's going on. I mean, like I said, I'm an introvert, whatever. But I think I realized just even after a few days, I'm like, oh, okay, I need to like do something. I need to whatever. And so, but like I said, I'll go to this outlet and hear, okay, well, it's okay to do this. And then I'll go here. And then people are like, no. Like, I'll be honest, because, we've got the beach here and stuff too. And I think I was talking to my mom today. And I was saying, I think it was like last week when all those videos came about, people like on spring break, like in Daytona or something crazy. And everybody, is partying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got beaches here, that are like not really places that people go like for spring break and partying or whatever. And I'm thinking about even the times I've been to the beach, like in New York, like I've never been to a beach and like been on like people be on top of each other. Like I feel like I've always gone to the beach and been like 10 feet away from each other, like. So I'm like, well,
I think the issue
this would be something that gives me peace, but
I think the issue here, and I can't speak to everywhere, that would work in a Florida market, if you will. But here, in order to get to the beach, I got to get on the subway.
Right.
And like 2 weeks ago, I was on the and it's right as this coronavirus shit was picking up in the news.
Lord.
Although some people allege that they think they had it like as early as the end of December and January here, and now we're finally realizing what the fuck it was.
Right.
But that's a whole different story. Right.
Yeah.
But this man was just like, I chew. Like he sneezed no less than 15 times at the opposite end of the car. You know what we have to engage with here in New York, and so like.
Right.
You don't want that going out to the Rockaways. You getting in the car, but you leaving your house, getting in your own car with just you, and going to the beach, popping up, a tent or, a beach towel, and doing your thing. I don't see how that would be harmful. I would defer to the local authorities, but like, unless someone comes over and like gets in your tent and like coughs on you, which is that's a charge.
They already would have got decked.
That's a charge.
Walking over. So.
That's a charge. Okay, that's a charge. Then I think you would be fine. But I still err on the side of caution because here's the deal. Here's another thing. You don't want to be out here running all over the place, running back and forth being Superman while everybody else is sitting down, and then it comes to your town and your immune system's compromised, or or you're already sick with the cold, and then coronavirus takes you the rest of the way. So it's important that even people who don't live in large metropolitan areas, and even if you don't have giant circles firing off around you on a map like we do, that you're also mindful that, they're saying the best way to have the best shot at this is to be physically healthy and in a high immunity state.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is helpful, and like I said, I think more importantly, just the dialogue and, just talking to one another and, is important because like, I didn't know that last part. So, as you talk and you hear things like, oh, okay, I didn't hear that. I didn't know, this. So you're sharing information and, passing on stuff that people maybe don't hear or, whatnot.
Yeah,
so,
all the time. Yeah. We're all just doing the best we can, you know. At the end of the day, what's encouraging you right now as we go? What's encouraging you?
So I think right now I'm just, I don't want to say stuck, but I'm focusing rather on, like I was saying, the things that, okay, what are the little things that can make me just feel, comforted, or I don't even want to say distracted, because I really do, like, I'm looking for things that, like, really do have some sort of, like, true meaning to me, or they resonate with me, whatever. So I've also, and I didn't mention this, but I've been like cooking, which I already love to cook anyway, but now that I'm home for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ooh, let's see what I've been cooking.
What you been catered to you?
Well,
hey, I'm done. Look. I'm done. What have you been cooking, Brian?
Like, well, there's another side to the story, but that'll be
okay
in
the after
anyway.
show.
But so let's see. I did a chocolate chip pumpkin bread, which is I've made that a lot actually.
I've had your chocolate chip pumpkin bread.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you had it before I became vegan, because I obviously changed some of the ingredients for it to be vegan, which I think it tastes completely better now.
What are you
with the
using
vegan
as your egg replacer?
I use applesauce actually. And I think it's something about that makes it just, it's so good. So, but I did it in like muffin form for the first time.
Do you know the Muffin Man, Brian?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, he lives something. What's the name? So it's the D, I think.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Yeah, I'll have to look at my phone, but yeah, I think I know him.
Oh my god! You made muffins.
So I did that. It was like a breakfast kind of situation. I made like a tofu scramble, and that's what I don't normally do. Like usually, like I get coffee and like kind of do my little minuscule like breakfasty type thing. But I'm like, since I'm home for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I've been kind of like making things for each like meal. And so usually during that time I put on like a, TV show on my iPad or like a podcast. And so those are the moments where I'm like, I feel like at peace. I feel happy. I feel comforted. I don't just feel like I'm distracted. I feel like this is genuinely bringing me some sort of joy. So I look forward to, the next day, even though I might have moments of, oh gosh, here's the new update for today. But I'm like, but I know I'm going to have that time, even something like cleaning, can be kind of that same, for me at least, like the therapeutic of, I've got Sarah Strahan and Kiki playing in the background, and I'm cleaning, my closet out, kind of thing. So I'm just trying to really like find those things. And I feel like those are what I'm, clinging to bring me joy.
Yeah.
And right now, actually, another thing, because I've been doing it the whole time I've been on the phone, usually at night, I take a walk around my complex for a little bit. This is literally what I'm doing at this moment.
Nice.
And it's been funny to see, because we've got a pretty big complex here. We've got a pool, and before they shut this down, I would go out even at night, just watch like my iPad out there and stuff. And I had like my breakfast out there the other day, but they shut all that down. They shut the gym down. But you just see a lot of people. We've got a lake and like a big kind of grassy field out behind my building.
Yeah.
So I came out yesterday around like 6 p.m. and there were like parents with their kids, like hitting the baseball, people just sitting on a blanket like in front of the lake, like people just walking like I'm doing. So it's been interesting to see how it's like affecting everyone, even though you might walk past someone and not like actually say anything, but you're just like like, okay, we're all doing this because of what's going on.
Right.
So it's been kind of like neat to just observe that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Stay woke, Brian. Stay woke. Don't stop observing.
I think, like you said, just kind of the unknown and just welcoming it in, knowing that it's a part of the equation. But, we've got each other. We've got this, we got this broadcast. We've got, like you're saying, even if you feel like you don't, like even if they have to text, your number, there is someone out there, who does care and is going
Always.
through the same thing. And so
We support it.
that's really how you kind of, try to get by, with this. So,
What are you doing with the rest of your weekend, Brian?
so I'm genuine. Like, what today is Friday?
Today is Friday. I think it's Friday the
Friday.
20th.
Woo, okay, yes. So, me and Bay, that's all I will say. Trying the verdict is still out.
Okay.
I cannot. The verdict is still out on if like going somewhere to the beach like is a good idea. Like
Right.
like I said, we're hearing conflicting things. The place that we do want to go is very like not secluded, but like it's not like one of those things it would be if get in your car and go. We've got food, we got everything.
Yeah.
So it might be that, or it might just be like, let's go find a lake and sit there,
Yeah.
because it's beautiful here right now. It's beautiful. I mean, it's
Then
hot,
you
but
should.
like,
I mean, yeah. Well,
it's like
spring
this
just started
beautiful-
yesterday, so.
Well, it's 90. It's been 91 degrees, so that's fucking not spring.
Oh wow.
That's sming or something. So
I'm dead.
mix of summer and spring. But
I'm dead.
so it's like you want to be outside. You want to like enjoy, how it feels.
Yes.
So we'll see. If not, it might just be a weekend of finding those, like I said, those little things that you can do. I've got game cards. We picked up frisbees today. Like just,
Yeah.
bubble. Like literally, like I feel like I was like, what toys do I want to take to the park tomorrow, mommy? Like that's literally what I felt like I just went to the store and got.
That's great, though. I mean, that's
but
what
just
keeps you
kinda make the
young.
most out of it. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So,
That sounds like fun. I'm going to be looking into
Yeah.
the Florida guidance and the federal guidance on beaches for you as soon as we get off. And then whatever you do, just have fun and make sure that you're continuing to love on yourself.
I will. That is the plan.
Yeah. For the people that are
exactly the
watching
plan.
right now, there's one over on Facebook, so it may be just the person watching right now. What word of encouragement would you say to them to take them through the rest of this?
One word of encouragement.
It doesn't have to be one word, but
Okay, I was like, oh, that's really tough.
it's like shamalama.
Jehovah.
Hey!
No.
Not ashamed of the gospel.
Oh goodness.
Go on.
I would just say, this truly is like, might be the one time that this saying is actually true when someone says to you, like, you're not in this alone. Like, literally, like, that's so true. And so as uncertain as everything is, as crazy as everything seems, everyone is being affected by this. So if you feel like, oh, I'm just going to fall by the wayside, or my, house is, gonna, what am I going to do about this? I mean, I feel like I've heard so many, companies and rental property, everyone just kind of being understanding with like people might be being off work or, whatever. And so there might be just some sort of leniencies on bills and stuff, so I feel like it's just the one time where, like I said, everyone in the world, is honestly being affected. And so you're not alone. And so don't be afraid to feel how you feel, number one. But, don't be afraid to reach out, because you never know what someone might be able to help with. Don't be afraid to be the one to reach out to someone else and, see that they're doing okay. And, because you never know what you might have that they need,
Yeah.
And that doesn't always mean something physical. It could just be, a conversation or whatever. So I would just say, like I said, just find comfort in that, just knowing you're not the only one, going through this, and we will, get through it together. I really believe that. So,
Thank you, Brother Brian, for the gift of your time tonight. I know that your words and the sharing of your story really, really, really reached into the hearts of people who are listening. I know it reached into mine. Just hearing your word of encouragement that I'm going to replay tomorrow during the day for everybody is going to really be more far reaching. Like, you're not just saying that to me, Brian. You just offered that word up to hundreds of people, and I know that they're going to feel touched by that. So thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you again for doing this. I think it's so important and needed.
Shakira says thank you, Brian.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Yeah, and for those of you out there watching tonight and the people that are going to watch it in replay or listen to it on the podcast, I'm taking the audio from these and then turning them into podcasts so you can listen to this actually. You don't have to, listen to Michael Strahan and Kiki and them too because they're awesome. But if you want to also have this conversation and the ones that have been in the last 7 days, those are also available on all major distributors and platforms. And if you want to come on and share light and love in the way that Brian and I have tonight, just give me a text at 404-585-1278. That's 404-585-1278, or reach out through the website and we'll dial you in the coming days. Hopefully we won't be in this forever, but as long as we are, we're going to be together. Shakira says, sending you love and protect. I know people don't like to call women out their name, but I'm going to pull a Snoop Dogg. Should I call her one, fam? Should I? Remember when Snoop Dogg said that about Gayle King? He's like, should I call her one, fam? Should I call her one? And I'm like, this bitch always coming here preaching, and I just love it. She said, sending you, I want you to feel this in your chandalo, Brian. She said, sending you love and protective energy. May you come out of this stronger and even more blessed.
Come on.
And I wish you could hear Shakira say that. We got to get Shakira on here one of these nights in the days of coronavirus, because let me tell you something. Shakira Imani, she's a prophetess, but don't even believe in that shit. Like, when you hear her, like, she has the, if you could hear her say, sending you love, and she's an actress. I won't say where she works, but she contributes to the community through her work both on and off the court, and she's a phenomenal actress that I met through that circle here in New York. And when she speaks with her passion and authority, she sounds like a prophetess. And I hope she comes on, because Brian, you're going to be like, anyway, sending you love and protective energy. May you come out of this stronger and even more blessed. I just want everybody right now, Brian, don't close your eyes because you're out in the dark in Florida, and we already know what happens in that state. Anyway, but those of you who can, if you're in a space, just flutter your eyes for a second, and I'm just going to read Shakira's blessing over us. Sending you love, you listener, both present and to come in replays. Sending you love and protective energy. May you come out of this stronger and even more blessed. One more time. Everybody under the sound of my voice, and see, in the Baptist tradition, the Pentecostal tradition that Brian and I come from, we'd be touching and agreeing on this. So we gonna touch and agree, telecommute.
Come on.
We're going to telecommute, touch, and agree. So I'm joining hands with you, with Shakira Imani. Brian, I'm joining hands with you and everybody who's listening, who's going to hear this. This is the blessing from Shakira tonight that she didn't even know she was doing. Sending all of you right now love and protective energy. May you come out of this stronger and even more blessed. Breathe in, breathe out, and so it is. I love you, Brian.
I love you too, brother.
I love you, everybody that's watching, and we're going to see you tomorrow night. I'm going to be here every night. Spirit, the divine goddess, Shamalama Ding Dong, Ganesh, all of them. Somebody told me to come in here every night, even if it's for one person. I'm going to come in here every night and love on that one person or more. And we're just going to do this together in live or replays until it's over. Until it's over, because community is is something that I feel matters, and I feel lifted by this. Yes, Shakira, and so it is. I feel lifted by this. Look at what we're manifesting on the earth right now by being together. Have a good night, Brian.
You too.
Take care, brother. I love you.
Love you too.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That's that on that. Have a great night. I'll be here every night at 8:30. We hang out for about an hour. We went over a little bit tonight, but that's because of the blessing that Shakira Imani gave me. I love you. Be happy. Be healthy. Be safe. Be happy. Be healthy. Be safe.